Hey, my beautiful bitches, it's me, Fiona St. James, and welcome to another episode of Fiona's Coffee Talks. And as always, I like to start off every morning with a fresh, black, hot cup of coffee. Hold the cream! I'd love to. So, I'm going to dive right into it. I want to first say that today is March 22nd, Sunday, and like everyone else in the world, we are in the midst of this coronavirus crisis. So that's what the episode is about today. There's so much to say about it. So let me just start off by saying a couple of weeks ago when it became apparent to me that this was going to become, something more than just something that was just going to come and go quickly, my gut instinct told me, read the writing on the wall, and this could become, more serious than any of us would have liked it to. So back then, I immediately started, going out and getting stuff to prepare, groceries, supplies, things of that nature. I wouldn't go as far as saying that, I was hoarding things and, buying 5,000 rolls of toilet paper, but I did buy, a good supply to cover me, say, for a couple of weeks, just in case, because, at that point, so much was uncertain about, how bad is it going to get and, what's going to open down or shut down or things of that nature. So, I did for a few days there, I made it a point to go to my local grocery store and, buy stuff that I would have bought anyway, but maybe I bought a little more than what I normally would have. But, better safe than sorry, I always say. And, and I'm glad that I did that because I feel comfortable knowing that, now that I have everything here, at least for, to get me through a couple of weeks, a few weeks, then at least I know that I don't have to necessarily go outside unless I need to. And in terms of going outside, what I've actually been doing is when I go out there, if I go out for a little walk, or if I do need to go out to the store and, grocery store, drugstore, or whatever, I wear my latex gloves or vinyl, whichever they are, those surgical gloves. And I have been wearing the mask, because there's something to be said, even though they were saying only wear the mask if you actually are feeling symptoms. I kind of felt right from the beginning that because this is such a new thing that they're still trying to learn about, and they're saying, well, it has to be the human contact and, maybe it's not airborne, but maybe it is, but maybe it isn't, but what if it is? So in my mind, I was thinking, okay, well, let's say you go out and you're, going to the grocery store and, you're keeping the 6-10 feet distance from everyone, which I was pretty much doing from the get-go. But what if it is airborne? What if someone just walked down that particular spot that now you're walking down and maybe they sneezed or coughed and didn't cover their mouths? So, I start thinking in terms of that and, you could never be too protected. So I pretty much from the get-go was doing that, where I was being maybe a little extra cautious. And, and I know a couple of my friends are telling me, oh, girl, you're going overboard, you're an alarmist, things of that nature. So, that's what makes me the unique individual that I am, that, right from the get-go, I just sort of thought there might be more to this than we're hoping it is. So that's why I pretty much started from the get-go doing that and isolating myself. And, I have not been riding the subway. Living in Sunnyside, I go into Manhattan every day. So even when things were still open, right prior to everything basically shutting down, I was already of that mindset that if I don't have to jump on the subway, I won't. So I think since a week and a half ago, Wednesday, I jumped on the train this past Monday, so almost a week ago. And only because I had to run errands, had to go to my post office, my pharmacy in the city to get my meds, things like that. But, I ran those errands and I came back home. But I had already stopped going to the gym because I'm thinking, people are sweating and, going in the steam room or sauna, which I like to do after workout. I was sort of like, I don't know how much sense that makes either. So, like I said, I pretty much off the bat was already thinking, well, worst case scenario, if this is going to become something, what should I do? So, and obviously, the basic things that they talk about, washing your hands for 20 seconds, which is, sing happy birthday twice, or what I do in my kitchen and in my bathroom. I happen to have a little clock next to the sink. So I'm sitting there looking at the clock and I do 30 seconds just to make sure, you can never be too clean. And, in terms of like all of this, like hand sanitizer, which you can't find anywhere, I've always been of the school of thought because I've, done massage for so many years. I always have rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle. So I've always used that anyway. After I wash my hands, a lot of times I just take that, spray it and wipe it off. So I'm like, well, that is the basis of hand sanitizer. Rubbing alcohol, honey, that kills everything. I mean, I use that to clean all of my glass surfaces with newspaper because that's how you don't get streaks. And I've just always used it on my hands. So who knew, right? That's an old hose trick. I have actually some notes that I wrote, so I want to make sure that I cover everything. Yeah, so like I wear the mask and gloves, wash the hands. They talk also about gargling with warm salt water, which makes sense because as we know, gargling with that, if you have any kind of sore throat, the salt will kill that. And then also, I guess this virus does not like the cold. I'm sorry, it likes the cold. It does not like the heat. So by virtue of drinking warm water, and they say drink water, take a sip of water every 20 minutes, because if you do have it in there by virtue of it going into your stomach, then, the acids and the enzymes kill it. So you're better off now. Knock on wood. I've always been one to drink like 2 gallons of water every day anyway. But, since this has been going on, and I find myself, home for the most part, like most of us, or like most of us should be, I'm seizing this opportunity to be that much better about things. So like, it's been the silver lining in all of this for me is that I've been able to focus on like eating right and, watching what I eat, which I do anyway because of the Shepherd's Code. But, I've not been going overboard, apart from the fact that it's like, okay, ration your food because one never knows. It's also the fact that I'm like, I'm going to seize this opportunity to, be as healthy as I can. And so, I have my Ironman gym, which is like the pull-up bars. I have my push-up handles. I have my balance ball. I have 10-pound weights. So I'm proud of myself that even though gyms are closed, I've been exercising every day that I've been here. So I'm like, you know what? If I'm home, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to watch what I eat. I'm going to try to get in the best shape that I could possibly be in. As you all know from my previous video that I did not too long ago, I've been sober. So it's not like I'm drinking or smoking weed or doing anything like that. So that also, I think, adds to my being good. Now, I should mention that, the mind is a very powerful tool. And about a week and a half ago, it was a Thursday night, and I had just spent like 6 full days of like working on this channel, and I shot like 14 videos and editing and thumbnails and etc. Then that Thursday, which was really when I think I overdid it with like watching the news and, all of everything that was being said about this, I think I almost gave myself a little bit of a panic attack because all of a sudden, that night I was feeling a little off, and I was not necessarily feverish, but you know how if you're like getting lethargic, you get that lethargic feeling if you feel like you're coming down with something. I definitely had that, and I was feeling like, ever so slightly feverish, and I was like a bit nervous because then I'm thinking, oh my Lord, do I have this? And but that night I ended up, I even had difficulty sleeping, but I finally fell asleep at like 2 a.m, and then I slept the next day till like 11. And that actually, getting that good night's sleep, it's amazing how that helped me a lot. And then I woke up the next morning and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm okay. But I just think that that particular night, I drove myself into this like panic attack, which, I've never had an anxiety attack or panic attack, but it's funny how you could get these like psychosomatic symptoms. And if you think about something for too long and you think, oh my God, coronavirus and I'm going to get it. And, they talk about if you're a certain age and if you have a compromised immune system. So yeah, I've said this time and time again. I'm 55 years old. I've been living with HIV for 27 years. So I'm a candidate for getting it. But, here's the whole thing with that. We all basically are, because I don't necessarily think that this virus is discriminating against who's going to get it. Doesn't matter your gender, your age, or orientation. If you're going to get it, you're going to get it. Or if you're not, you're not. Hopefully most of us will not. But, we just have to be smart about things and, limit your going out. Go out only when you have to, and the whole social distancing thing. So, I've not been seeing clients. I've not been, hooking up, as it were, or like even seeing friends for that matter. But, that kind of astonishes me too, because I have a couple of people that I know that are like, oh, let's get together. And I'm like, are you like not listening to the news? Why would you even want to? And, I had one guy tell me, oh, well, I'm clean. I don't have any fever. And I'm like, yeah, for now you don't. And how do you know that you're not eventually? How do I know that I'm not? That I don't. That's the scary part about all of this. You can be as careful as you can be. And honestly, there's no real guarantees. But all right, I need to look at my paper one more time. Oh, okay, this is what I wanted to say. So one of the things that I've been doing is binge watching shows on Netflix. So guys, if you want to watch the funniest show on the planet that will really get your mind off of everything, Schitt's Creek with Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, etc. Oh my God, it is the funniest. It is brilliant. There's times that like I find myself getting emotional with the show in a good way, not because anything terrible happens, but it's just lovely. It's on Pop Network. I've been watching it on Netflix because the first 5 seasons you can watch on Netflix. There's short episodes, like on the Pop Network, they're half-hour episodes. So minus the commercial, that each episode is like 20 minutes, 13 episodes per season. So I have been binge watching. I've watched a season a day since Wednesday. Today is Sunday. I will watch season 5 today. And I just like sit there for like, I'll break it up, watch 2 hours and then another 2 hours. But it is just wonderful. And it's just, it kind of makes you forget about everything. And, that's the beauty of movies and television, is that, if you are going through something like this, you can kind of take your mind off of things. Okay. Yeah. So when that happened a week and a half ago, Thursday, where I was suddenly not kind of feeling a little off and not feeling great, there's this Spanish remedy called sangre de drago, dragon's blood, literally translated. And it comes from Peru. It's been around forever. And my sister, hey, Wenji, turned me on to this. I bought it on Amazon, and it's one of those tincture things, like with the eye drop. And it has all of these like healing properties that supposedly kills all of these different viruses. And since that Thursday night that I was feeling that way, I had told me a few weeks ago, get this just in case the coronavirus. And, so people would take it if they're not feeling good. Other people take it as like a maintenance thing. You do like 12 drops. So like, but I had just received it in the mail like that day. So then the next morning, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start doing this. So I've been doing that 3 times a day. And between that and laying on this thing that I have that's called a biomat, which is Richway Technologies, it's based out of Hawaii, and it's like all this NASA technology and it's pretty much like something that you lay on that has all of these like amethyst stones that have all of these healing properties. And there's a motherboard where you set the temperature, and it's basically like a heat infrared technology. I mean, I think the lowest temperature is like 100. It goes up to 150 degrees. And once you reach the 140, then it's the infrared, and it's supposedly, It's just this overall healing thing for your body. And I swear by it. I've had it for a number of years. When I moved into this apartment 3 years ago, I had it in my storage closet because it even comes with its own piece of luggage. And when I injured my ankle a number of months ago, like 3-4 months ago, my sister was like, Jimmy, why don't you lay on that biomat? And I was like, shit, I forgot I had it. So once a day, I actually put that temperature to 140, and that shit gets hot. I ain't gonna lie to you. I could only last about half hour at that temperature. But it's almost like, if this virus is going to not like the heat, I'm like, I'm gonna burn this shit out of me in case if I do have it, which I don't think I do. But again, the higher you go with the temperature, the more benefits you get from it. So I've been doing that. I've been doing my dragon's blood, other supplements, drinking lots of water. I also have this other thing called, it's Nature Bright. It's kind of like it's a sun lamp, but it's not like a tanning thing by any means. But what it does is it mimics the sun. So the benefits that you get from being in the sun, you get by sitting in front of this, and you could do it in increments of 15 minutes up to an hour. So every morning, apart from starting my day with a hot, fresh black cup of coffee, hold the cream. What I do is I sit in front of this thing. I shut my phone off. I shut everything off. And for half an hour, I just sit there with my eyes closed and I meditate and let it do its magic. So these are the little things that I've been doing to just kind of get myself through this, because, it is scary times. And I have my moments where I'm sure we all do, where, you think of it and it's like, you think of like, how much worse can it get? And I try to not let my mind go there. I'm trying to be optimistic and positive about this, and just try to be as prepared as I can. So I think the ultimate silver lining in all of this for me, has been, it's been an opportunity for me to really be reflective about things. Because you know what? It's okay, like, that we have to be alone for a minute. But I enjoy my company anyway, but it's made me so much more productive, even just in terms of like getting all my ducks in a row and getting all my shit together, and, just having that time to reflect on life really in general. So that's been kind of good. I'm going to do one more quick peek at this. Oh yeah. This was the other thing I wanted to touch on. I know that being on HIV and being on these antiviral medications, I know I've heard conversations or I've, seen on social media where people think, oh, well, you know what? Because I'm on, these HIV medications and this is a virus and so is that, I'm in better shape. It's almost like they think that they're infallible, where they're not going to get something. I don't know if that's been scientifically proven. I don't think it has, but I don't know. Does it make me feel better that I'm on these medications? Well, I think anything that you're on that's going to help you maintain a good health is going to help. Is it going to technically combat this if you do have it, or will it reduce your chances of getting it if you are on an HIV medication? I don't know. I don't know that they know the answer to that yet. I know there's been talk about that. Either way, I don't want it to be that people are going to be like, oh, well, I'm on medication, so that means it doesn't matter and I can go out and do whatever. Still be smart about it. And I'd rather be more cautious than anything else. And, a dear friend of mine, when all of this first started and I was buying food and all of this, he was like, oh, you're such an alarmist. And I don't think I am. This is what I've needed, what I've wanted and needed to do for myself and for my own sanity. Because let's keep it real, hun. All of this shit going on, I've never in my lifetime that I've been on this planet have I experienced anything like this. So it is, partially the fear of the unknown, and, is it going to be become some apocalyptic thing, not like a zombie apocalypse like The Walking Dead, but you know what I mean. We don't know how bad it's going to get. We know it's all over the place. So, anywho, I'm going to end it at this point. I am going to film a part 2 where I have other things to say. That's a whole other but another aspect of this. But I wanted to keep this. That's why I wanted to write stuff down, because I'm like, me, honey, I'll start rambling. Then suddenly the stuff that I want to do in part 2 might creep into this. And I'm like, no, I got to keep it separate. So anyway, the most important thing for anyone watching this, for all of my viewers and subscribers, is just be safe, take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and just, watch the news, hear what they have to say. Hopefully these little tips that I've given, maybe some people might be able to use some of them. We all know the basic things, but if there's any other little thing that I'm doing, dragon's blood, etc., that could help you, check it out. So again, guys, thank you so much for being with me. And, I want everyone to be safe. I want me to be safe. I want everyone to just be smart and take care of yourselves and take care of each other. So thanks for subscribing and tuning in. Don't forget, hit the notifications button. Hit the like, thumbs up. Yay. And thank you again for being here with me. Until the next time. Oh, before I forget, one final thing. My videos are scheduled to post every Tuesday and Friday at 10 a.m. So at that point, even if you don't have the notification set, just know every Tuesday and Friday, like clockwork, at 10 in the morning, I will have a new video posted, and I am actually scheduled through the end of April. So girl, I've been doing my work. This bitch got a lot to say. Okay, now I'm signing off. Thank you. Love yous. Bye.